Welcome to the Dirty Lazy Keto podcast by Stephanie Laska. I lost 140 pounds, and I cannot wait to share all of my keto, low-carb secrets with you during season 5. Get ready for a fast ride because the Dirty Lazy Keto podcast by Stephanie Laska is going to get you inspired and help you to be successful. Let's get started. Guys, I want you to give me a thumbs up if you want to know my top 10 favorite snacks, keto snacks for the car. So if you are curious and you're excited to learn about my top 10 favorite keto snacks for the car, please give a thumbs up. That way this post will bubble to the top for all to see. It really helps the algorithm. So I want to share with you the top 10 keto snacks. So I'm going to be sharing 10, and not just the snacks, but I'm going to also share some tips. Is it this way or this way? I'm also going to share some tips on what really helped me to lose 140 pounds and to keep that weight off for how long? Do you know? Put it in the comments if you know. I'll look. I'm looking. Do you know how long I've kept off 140 pounds? I'm looking. Do you know? Did you say 10 years? Because that's right. It's been a decade for me. That's unbelievable. A whole decade. So basically, my kids are starting to come to the point where they don't remember the old mommy, which is fantastic. That's fine with me. I don't want them to have those habits from my past. I want them to have the habits from my future. The healthy mommy that creates healthy food and eats healthiness and is active and fun with them and doesn't ever make excuses. So I'm going to share with you not only my tips, but also those top 10 that help me specifically in the car, because I travel quite a bit. I'm always on the go with work and just going places. And you have to have these things in the car, right? Otherwise you might end up like driving somewhere that you don't want to end up. And then next thing you know, you're a Dairy Queen. We don't want that to happen. Right? Yes, you agree with me. So stay tuned, because out of the whole top 10 list that I'm going to share today, I think number 10 is the most embarrassing. And I think it's kind of funny. I like to share embarrassing things to let you know that you're not alone. That's why. Number 1, I would like to share with you a specific shout out, reminder, tip, and strategy for the car. Remember, protein, high protein, low carb snacks are going to help you to curb that hunger beast. Okay. So think about protein when you're choosing those keto friendly snacks for the car, not just the yummy snacks, but high protein snacks. That can really be a great strategy for you. So when I'm talking about eating high protein, low carb snacks, what comes to mind? Please type in the comments what you're thinking of. Because, we all have ideas to share. I went to the store and just picked up a few so I could hold up things that I personally like to eat. And they are the quick and fast and easy ones. Now, sometimes I might end up in the deli department and just get some deli meat, whether it's freshly cut or packaged. I know that's not necessarily healthy for me, but you know what? I'd rather stay on plan. I'd rather ward off that hunger beast than drive myself to somewhere I don't want to end up. You know what I mean? So this is a protein pack, and it's got some cheese, and it's got some ham, it's got some turkey. So I love that. I love things that are prepackaged, ready to go. It can be a meat stick. It can be a jerky stick. Protein is going to help fill that void that you have, and then maybe stop you from eating all the other high carb munchies that might be tempting you. Now, Lunchables can be like a regular old Lunchable, and you just throw away the cracker part. They have meat and cheese in there. And I think those are very simple and easy. Hard-boiled eggs are a go-to of mine, just because they're so affordable, and you can make them like in the Instant Pot, and they peel really easily. Put them in a Ziploc, and they taste pretty good, and they're fast to eat while driving. So protein for me, I'm also thinking about, deli meat. I'm also thinking about hard-boiled eggs. I'm thinking about maybe a cheese stick. Mozzarella sticks, whole milk mozzarella sticks have a surprising amount of protein. Who knew, right? Now, if you are thinking, well, I don't want to cook anything, I don't want to boil eggs. If you're stopping at a gas station, I understand. Try to find something with some protein, though. Be creative. Shop around. You might find some tofu bites, some dried meat, a meat stick. What could you find at a quick stop, or what could you pack that's super fast? Because I know some of you are willing to do some cooking, right? You might get tofu and cut it into slabs and air fry it with a little olive oil and salt, which is delicious, by the way. I don't want to just talk about meat. I want to give a wide variety of suggestions. So good. This is my favorite brand from Costco. It's the organic tofu 4-pack. It goes on sale quite a bit, and it's really easy to eat. I have a whole video on how to make tofu French fries. If you want it, just let me know. But anyway, if you need more ideas, I have so many easy to make creative ideas. I want you to refer to page 105, page 105 inside Extra Easy Keto. That's your beginner guide to all things related to ketosis. There's a ton of cheat sheets in here and a lot of lists, because I know you need that, along with the carb count and the serving size. So refer to page 105 for that information. That way you don't have to take notes today if you don't want to. You can just look at that list. Let's move on to number 2, because I've got 10 I want to share with you. Number 2, here's the strategy and some examples for you. But number 2, really think carefully about avoiding mega-sized bags. Okay, I'm holding up a Cheese Wisps, the large size bag. I bought this at Costco. And yes, it's more affordable than, let's say, buying the pre-packaged, individual size portioned bags. But at least for me, when it comes to being successful on the keto diet, I'm going to be honest with myself. I'm going to keep it real. And I'm going to tell all of you today, I will eat this entire bag in one sitting. The big mega bag. I will. I know it. I can eat multiples of these too and lie to myself. So I have to keep it real. At least the little packages will slow me down. These are going to be your best strategies for staying on track while you're in a car on the keto diet. Think about that and tell me what you think. Am I the only one? I told you I was going to give up a little bit of embarrassing things today. I'm going to tell it to you like it is, because I can sit down at a big container of peanuts. Here's another one from Costco. I love peanuts. I can open up a can of any low-carb nut and just go to town, because I'm like, blah, 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 blah. I'm just eating. There's no end in sight. I don't care if I'm full. I'll just keep eating, because I love, munchies and salty snacks like this. So for me, it's very important, especially when I'm driving, to pay attention to portion control. I don't mind going to like the Dollar Tree. I went there yesterday and picked these up. I don't mind going to the Dollar Tree or spending a little extra at the grocery store to buy some of these pre-portioned, already bagged and tagged in a serving size that I'm comfortable with a net carb amount that I'm comfortable with, and then reserve those specifically for the car ride, right? It's all about portion control. Is anyone else struggling with that? Please tell me in the comments what food you struggle with, because this is a thing, right? Especially in the car, because you're like, driving along, and the next thing you know, you may have brought like a big slab of cheese thinking, oh yeah, I'll just have a little bit of this. Next thing you know, you've eaten 3 full portions. Instead, you could have just bought smaller size or brought along a smaller amount of cheese. That way you're not eating more than you intended. So think about that when you're shopping. Sometimes I think it is worthwhile to spend up and get those little individually wrapped serving sizes for hard to manage foods. This is mozzarella balls from Costco as well. They're yummy, right? So good. So think about it. Not everyone's going to have the same hot button. Not everyone's going to struggle with the same type of food. But for you, think about which foods you struggle with, and in those specific areas, avoid the mega-sized bags and maybe spend a little more of your hard-earned cash, or pre-package it yourself if you need to help you manage that portion control so you can stay on track. Amen, right? All right, let's move on to number 3, because we've got 10 to get to. And as promised, number 10 is the most embarrassing share of the day. So number 3, I kind of hinted at mindless eating, right? A second ago, I was like, it's easy to just drive and go do. And the next thing you know, you've eaten a whole mega bag of this or that. Well, sometimes my strategy is to embrace this mindless eating. Embrace it. Here's my giant light up brain or head. The mindlessness of eating. You can actually make that work for you as opposed to against you, as long as you think about what type of food it is you want to mindlessly eat. Now, before I confuse you anymore with the flashing light, let me explain number 3 and how you can embrace mindless eating when you're driving in a car. This is what I mean. Rather than mindlessly eating things like chips, right? We just kind of hinted at that, or pork rinds, things, nuts, things that are easy to overeat. You're going to mindlessly eat. It just happens, whether we want it to or not. So instead of having like chips or those kinds of things that are dangerous for you, maybe you, maybe me, I don't know. Think about what food you could capitalize on to mindlessly eat. Here is my example. Celery. I like to buy these pre-washed, pre-packaged, pre-cut celery sticks to eat in the car. Now, yes, I also will wash a full ear and cut them up when I have time, but I find myself being very successful on keto if I'm jumping in the car, taking a long drive, and I know I have a huge package of food like this, super low in carbs, right? Super duper healthy, and I can mindlessly eat it and without even thinking like, nom, 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 nom. So what food could you mindlessly eat that's not going to cause you any trouble? Celery is mine. Plus, it helps me relieve stress. Yeah, I know. I get stressed out when I'm driving in California. So here is a couple strategies I use to make it even more delicious and palatable. So I'm going to tell you more embarrassing things that I do. Let me reach down to grab these items for you. And one of them is that I keep, dropping things, I keep a full-size salt shaker in my car. Yes, I do. This one's a little bigger than the one that's actually in my car, but I do keep a full-size salt shaker. Now, if that is too embarrassing for you, you could keep a stash of these little salt shaker or salt packets like from a fast food store. But either way, keeping some salt on hand can really help you to mindlessly eat some foods that maybe aren't as tasty. Like even broccoli, I'll put salt on, or celery. Give me your example. Then you can just drive away. Here's another seasoning that helps or works for me, and that's the everything but the bagel seasoning, everything seasoning. And I do have a recipe for this inside the Dirty Lazy Keto Dirt Cheap Cookbook if you want to make this seasoning yourself, which I do. I make it in bulk because I use it so often. Okay, now, if you want to know more about this issue, mindlessly eating, I put together a whole video kind of related to this topic. It's called, Why Do I Eat When Not Hungry on Keto? Why do I eat when not hungry on keto? That's going to be the video I link up right after this. So if you just stay tuned, I'll put the link to it at the very end. That way you can just keep on learning and binge watching. Okay, so we talked about capitalizing on mindlessly eating filler food, healthy low-carb food. So putting away, things like chips, using the celery, using something like that low in carb, and we talked about that pro tip of using maybe some salt or seasoning or something else to make it even taste better. And I'm looking forward to hearing what you guys have to say on that one, because that could be a fun topic, right? Where we could share and learn from each other. Should we move on? That was number 3. Let's move on to number 4. This one's really cute. Number 4, we are going to, when driving in the car and looking for my top 10 keto snacks, number 4 is, let me pull it out. It's stuck. I'm like throwing food all over the office here. Number 4. Number 4 is my recommendation to love your sweet tooth. Love your sweet tooth. When you were picking out these top 10 best keto snacks for travel. Now, you might be like, that makes absolutely no sense, Stephanie. You just got done telling me to eat a bunch of celery. Well, here's the thing. Like it or not, we have a sweet tooth. I do. Do you? If you try to avoid it, you try to deny it's happening, you might end up just crashing and burning and then heading over to that Dairy Queen or getting that like Frappuccino. You might just crash and then all of a sudden you're buying a mega cookie at Crumble. You know what I mean? So I think if you embrace that it's going to happen at some point when you're in the car and you plan for it, that means you're going to be more realistic and you're going to be more successful. So here's the strategy I use. Again, with the embarrassing tips for you. After I eat my quote unquote filler, like I reward myself in a way. I know that's horrible. I hate to use that word, but I kind of like make a plan. Like, okay, well, after I eat all that filler stuff, and if I'm still hungry, then I allow myself, that's a better way to say it, I allow myself to have that little special treat that I planned. Now, a lot of times, I don't even get to it because I'm full after eating all that celery or munchy broccoli. But other times I'm like, I'm still in the car, I'm still driving. And then I can kind of like look forward to like that special treat that I planned that was sweet. Today, I brought along a giant brownie that I made. I know, right? And I just can't wait to eat this. So I'm going to think to myself, okay, when I'm driving, first I'm going to eat all my filler. I'm going to eat all that kind of stuff. I'll eat a high protein snack. I'll eat all my veggies. And then I'll put this in the very bottom of my little snack bag, knowing that if I'm still hungry, if I'm still desperate or still needing something sweet, then I might reach for a little specialness like that. Now, it doesn't have to be a brownie. Here are some other examples of things that I personally pack in this category. For number 4, I also always have sugar-free gum on hand. For me, I could eat, 20 pieces. I don't really care what people think. If it helps me get through that sweet craving, I'm going to do it. What do you think about that? I'm sassy today, huh? Now, you might think, well, I don't want to eat that kind of stuff. I don't want to eat sugar-free, this and that, whatever. I don't want any of that. I just want to grab something and run. Well, here's an idea for you. The Quest protein bars, they've come a long way. And I've just found out that they're making these minis. Thank you so much. Because the giant protein bars by Quest, for me, they're kind of like a candy bar. I treat them as a special occasion. And the minis really hit the spot. And then I'm just eating a little mini. I don't need the whole thing. I find that I'm just fine after a mini. And they do come in different flavors. So check that out. It's almost like a little bite. I like it. I just bought them on Amazon. Love it. Love them. Now, if you don't want any of that, stuff with chemicals and blah, 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 almond flour, whatever, you want something more natural, I get it. The gum is probably not going to be your best fit. However, what about blueberries? Or what about some other low-carb berry? I'm all eating them. Oh, I love them. Another great thing about blueberries, you eat them one at a time very slowly. Got to stretch them out. Maybe eat one per mile if you're driving and make it last. I'm just kidding. But you can stretch out some of these keto-friendly snacks to satisfy you, keep you on plan, keep you feeling happy, so you're not feeling resentful. I think that's super important. I always bring along a special treat because I don't want to feel angry or hangry or grumpy or mean. And plus, sometimes emotionally, you might just be stressed out and need that hit of like quote unquote sugar. I'm always going to have a sugar-free option available in my car for any kind of trip. Here's an example of Lily's dark chocolate candy coated pieces. Why not bring them along? It's not like you're going to eat them or eat the whole thing. Maybe you just need a diet soda. Sometimes that enough hits the spot. What's your go-to for a good travel-friendly keto type snack that's good in the car? Tell us in the comments so we can all learn from each other. Before I move on, is anyone still thinking about the brownie? Is anyone still thinking about the brownie? Okay, I get that. I wanted to show you where my recipe is from. Here's what they look like all prettied up from the fancy photographer. And if you want to make my avocado bolt brownies, you can look no further than page 208, and it is on the Dirty Lazy Keto No Time to Cook Cookbook. No Time to Cook Cookbook. It's the 3rd in the series, and there's desserts in every one of these cookbooks. And there's no overlaps or repeats. So if you want this recipe, you'll have to check out this book from your local library or order a copy online. And it is so delicious. Every recipe in this particular cookbook can be made in 30 minutes or less. And that includes cleanup, prep, all included. Maybe not cleanup, but prep, definitely. Getting everything out, getting started, 30 minutes. You can't go wrong with that. What I do is I cut up the brownies and then I freeze them in little portions, like with 2 maybe per. And then when it's time to go on a car trip or enjoy them, I'll pull them out, and it takes a little while and then they're ready to go, right? Such a good strategy. I'm moving on to number 5 because I've got 10 today to share with you. Are we having fun? Are we having fun yet? She wants to know. Are we having fun yet? Oh, I got things falling all over the place. I got so much going on in my bag here I can't find it. I'm going to pause and look over here. Where did it go? I'm looking for a particular item. Oh no! Sometimes when I'm reaching in to grab stuff, it goes flying up. Oh well, I'll just move on. Sad, but that little prop was so super cute. Very funny though. But number 5, my recommendation for you is to make sure your snacks, here's number 5, make sure that your snacks are like finger food, and make sure that they are easy, mess-free, and safe to eat. So I'll hold up my this little guy. There's my 5 finger. But make sure that your snacks for the car are easy to eat, mess-free, and safe to eat. And the reason I wanted to share number 5 with you is because yesterday I was driving home from the airport, and I was very hungry, as usual. And I stopped because I had a craving for Indian food. So I'm like, oh, that's great. No problem. I'm going to stop and pick that up. So I got some butter chicken to go. Here it is right here. It's keto friendly, so delicious. And I'm driving and I've got the top off. It's in a nice travel container. I'm thinking, no problem. Next thing I know, oh my gosh, it's too hot because it was freshly made. It's dribbling all over the place. It's kind of dark because I'm driving late at night. It was not a good situation. Let's just say it was almost somewhat dangerous because I'm like trying to get the top on. It's spilling. It's too hot. I'm spilling on myself. I can't see what I'm doing. And then I'm worried about my fancy outfit. I was just coming from the airplane. It was kind of a disaster. So I want you to think about that when you're choosing your snacks. I'll hold up the 5 fingers again, but make sure that your snacks are easy to eat, they're mess-free, and they're safe to eat. Because you're driving a car. You want to be responsible. So the same goes for my beloved, oh, I just found the prop. You're going to love it. This is worth the wait, people. I'm going to reach down, put them on. Here we go. Well, the same goes for, there it is, my light up glove. See, that's when I was digging. I wanted to share with you, same goes for my beloved cucumber salad. I'm always sharing or talking about this on podcasts. One of my daily snacks is that I have sliced cucumbers, and then I put vinegar on top, and then I know, you're like, really? And then I put some feta cheese, and I put Splenda. And then I sit there and eat it with a fork, and it's the best salad. It's delicious. It's sweet. It's easy to make. And I love the English cucumbers, too, by the way. I'm very snobby about my cucumber salad. And sometimes I found myself wanting to eat this in the car. It does not work, people. I have to give it up because unless I'm a passenger, it's messy, it's distracting. I'm ripping, Splenda packets and trying to get the perfect amount of cheese. I can't do it. Better choices for me would be what? Why don't you guys give me a suggestion? I'll tell you what I think. I need to forget about making it a salad and just eat the stupid sliced cucumbers. That would be a better idea for me. Another idea would be forget about the feta cheese, which is crumbling all over the place, and maybe just go for some string cheese. I need finger food that's easy, mess-free, and safe to eat. That is my recommendation. What do you guys think about that? Can I just keep these on all day? Because they're so funny. Number 5, finger food. But I want to hear from you guys. What do you think? Put in the comments for a chance to win a prize today. I'm going to pull up the little spinner thing because I like to give away prizes for people participating. Have you ever had an incident like me with, stuff spilling all over the place? And then you just are like convinced it'll be fine. I've heard there's a lot of car accidents from people trying to eat ribs, hamburgers, different things. I'm not looking. Let's see. I'm going to pick someone from the comments today to win a pack of assorted keto stickers. So if you'd like to win some assorted keto stickers, put that in the comments. And I'll pick some people at random. I'll pick more than one since it's stickers. That's easy for me to mail. And just so you know, if you don't get picked, you can still order stickers or anything else on the Etsy store. Anything else, any of the other prizes I give away. These are all on my Etsy store. So I'm selling them just at cost. You just go to the Etsy store, which is the Dirty Lazy Keto Shop. That's the name of the Etsy store, the Dirty Lazy Keto Shop. So you go into Etsy. You can just do etsy.com/shop/the Dirty Lazy Keto Shop. So there you go. And all of the prizes that I give away and more are all on the Etsy shop. So if I don't pick you today for the stickers, and I have so many, you guys, all sorts of cute stickers, big ones, small ones, and I just got some new designs in that look like the Barbie logo. So excited about those. The Barbie logo that say Dirty Lazy Keto, and also the Supreme logo. It looks like that. So really fun. Any of these prizes are available and more on the Etsy shop. So I'll pick somebody from the comments. So please let me know if you want to win. And sometimes I pick you if you go, pick me. because your name will jump out at me. So don't be shy. All right, I'll put these fun gloves away. Stop playing with them. I'm going to go on to number 6. Number 6 is when you are in a car and you want those keto-friendly snacks. You're thinking about my top 10 list. I want to just warn you or recommend to you to expect overeating. Expect it, and that's okay. You know, we talked about the mindless eating. Sometimes you will overeat in a car because you're bored. And it's not even mindless. You might be totally aware of what you're doing, and you're like, I'm still driving. I'm still eating. Because driving can be boring, and you're there forever. And if you're like me, you're used to eating to entertain yourself. Let's be real. So pack snacks that take time to eat and that you can also eat a lot of, okay? That take a long time. Now, a friend of mine I just saw a couple days ago, she told me the most hilarious story. I'm not going to say her name because I don't want to embarrass her. But I was like, that's so funny. I got to say that in the podcast. Here's what she told me she does when she's driving. She goes to the grocery store. I'm opening up a bag of lettuce here. And she gets one of those pre-washed, pre-done, you know, those little bags of lettuce. And then she goes to the deli area and gets her like turkey or meat of choice. And then she'll like rip it apart, throw it in the bag. She'll get a jar of like blue cheese crumbles or whatever kind of cheese she wants. And then she'll get her silverware out while she's driving and just be like, oh, and the dressing. And she'll just pour the dressing inside the bag and then go. And she'll shake it up in the bag, which is genius. I've never thought of this. And then she'll just be driving along, eating out of her salad in a bag, her mega salad in a bag. That cracked me up. Totally new idea. Never thought of it. So think of some foods that you can overeat that aren't going to distract you, that you can be mindful or mindless or whatever you want, but just anticipate that you're going to be bored and you might eat too much. So plan for some foods that are going to make sense like that. I'm definitely going to be using that strategy. Mine in the past has been broccoli, kind of stinky, or cauliflower florets, but I definitely like my friend's idea a little bit better. I'm going to move on to number 7. Number 7, when I'm driving a lot and I want my keto snacks, I make sure that I have things that are salty. I don't know why that happens to me, but I'll get those cravings. We talked about the sweet stuff and how to embrace your sweetness, but I also think you have to embrace for salty and plan ahead. It just happens. Some of my favorites that I like are olives. I like the green ones. I like the black ones. I'll put them in a Ziploc. I'll buy them in the little pre-packaged. Olives are really easy to eat while you're driving. Also bacon. I like to fry up a lot of bacon on the weekends, then put it in little Ziplocs. I've even taken it on airplanes. And the people are like, what is she doing with a pound of bacon in her backpack? But easy to eat while you're driving. Also, dill pickles, I recommend. Here is from the dollar store, a dill pickle in its own little package. How cute is that? Obviously, you don't need to have this in your store. You might be like, Stephanie, we don't have those by me. I understand. It's okay. You can put a pickle of your own in a bag and eat it in the car. It's the same thing. It's just a nice little portion control tip, right? Remember that portion control we talked about earlier, planning for those snacks that are in smaller containers. Here's almonds, also purchased from the Dollar Tree in a small individual package. Now, number 8, I don't want you to be afraid when you're in a car and you're looking for the top 10 list from Stephanie for keto foods. I'm going to recommend that you discover some fast foods, some snacks that are yummy to you at your local fast food or local restaurant or local coffee. You can go to the Starbucks or whatever coffee house you like to go to. Figure out what's going to taste good to you at a fast food stop, right? That is going to be keto friendly. I'm so happy to discover most of like Dunkin' or Starbucks, they offer a sugar-free version of a coffee. They'll put the little sugar-free pumps in there for you. You just have to ask. One time my coffee tasted so good, I got out of line and I went back in line at Dunkin' and I was like, did y'all really use the sugar-free? Because this coffee's so good. I really did that. I know, I'm very embarrassing because I was worried. I'm like, this tastes too good to be true. An In-N-Out burger, what I like to buy is a grilled cheese sandwich with all the produce or a grilled hamburger wrapped in lettuce only with all the produce. Super easy with the special sauce, no ketchup, mustard. Now, if you want some more ideas, those are what I tend to get, the sugar-free coffee with a little cream at the Starbucks, or I told you my fast food order. But if you want more ideas, you're like, okay, well, what else, Stephanie? I travel a lot. Here are 2 resources for you. I'm going to recommend that you get a copy of the Dirty Lazy Keto Fast Food Guide, 10 Carbs or Less, and also the Keto Diet Restaurant Guide. Okay, these are 2 different books. They are available exclusively on Amazon. And the Fast Food Guide is free if you have Kindle Unlimited. Hello, that is amazing, free. Both of these, my husband and I put together all of the research, and they're just for you. I want to help you make good choices. So check out the restaurant guide, the Keto Diet Restaurant Guide on Amazon, Keto Diet Restaurant Guide, or the Dirty Lazy Keto Fast Food Guide. Both of them are by William Laska and Stephanie Laska. I do recommend, because this one's so big, the restaurant guide, because it has 60 restaurants inside. You may like it in an ebook. A lot of people tell me that. That is a pro tip for you. The fast food guide is free. That's one pro tip. And the restaurant guide as an ebook on your phone can be a helpful additional pro tip. So there you go. I know, right? What was I thinking trying to share 10 tips today? There's so many. Number 9. I think that goes that way. Number 9. Number 9, my tip for you, my strategy, is to hydrate. You saw me with my big drink all day. I'm being a role model for you. So hydrate is very important. However, instead of guzzling water, which I've been doing all morning, here's my strategies for you. Chew ice. Did you see that coming? Now, ice can be very entertaining because you're chewing it. It's slow, right? It's refreshing, but it's slowly going to hydrate you so you're not, stopping to use a bathroom because you're traveling in your car. Now, a pro tip is to bring a hydro flask or a hydro type bottle to keep your ice from melting. You can literally put ice in these kinds of bottles or cups. It will stay in there for like days. It's a trip. I didn't believe it until I saw it with my own eyes. It's amazing, right? Do you have one? Tell me what color. Did you get the hot pink Stanley one that's new release at Target? Because I'm not getting it. So I got this knockoff one instead. But it's still cute. But this really helps you guys. And another pro tip is that with the ice, you can keep refreshing it as you travel at fast food restaurants or gas stations for free. So there you go. Ready for number 10? Remember I told you it was super embarrassing? Number 10. Here it goes. Here it goes. Number 10, I told you that was going to be embarrassing. And I'm going to promise, because it's not just about food when you travel. My top 10 keto-friendly foods and tips for the car include prepping your car for success. Now, here is what I mean. You ready for this one? Stock your car with all the necessities. What do you need in your car? You're going to need plastic silverware. I personally commandeer or help myself to plenty of this at local, to-go places. Shh. From my house, I bring along a big giant pack of wet wipes because I'm always spilling and making a mess. So it's helpful, right? My daughter even carries a Tide pin in case she gets it on her clothes. That's genius. Now, what about hand sanitizer? Of course, everyone's got that in their cars these days. And you've got your plenty of supply of sugar-free sweetener, of course, right? But you also might have, if your name is Stephanie Laska, you also might have an entire roll of paper towels in your car because that is your anticipation of being extra messy. It is the best decision I've ever made putting this in my car. I told you this is embarrassing. I told you. But most embarrassing of all, I think beyond stealing silverware and having my paper towels, I think my most embarrassing one is that I keep a bathroom-size trash can in my minivan, lined with liners. People get in my car and they're like, "You seriously have a trash can?" People freak out. They think it's so weird. But it was life-changing to me. As soon as I put that little trash can in my car, like, mind you, this is like a bathroom size. Not this teeny tiny one I'm showing for effect. But like a bathroom-sized trash can in my minivan changed my life. Because then I could be more organized. I wasn't afraid to pack snacks and bring things. It just made sense. What do you guys think? Which one of those was your favorite? Which one are you going to try? Which 1 through 10? I love reading your comments. Some of them are funny. Some people get very upset. But either way, as long as you're commenting and getting engaged, I think that's going to help you to be successful because it means that you're part of the keto community and you are passionate about it. Whether you agree or disagree with some of my ideas, getting involved is really the key. So I hope that you pat yourself on the back and give yourself a round of applause for participating in today's top 10 tips and keto snacks to eat in the car, because I appreciate you being here. And I hope that everyone will subscribe to Dirty Lazy Keto on YouTube. You can also subscribe to the podcast and look forward to those new episodes that come out every week. Every week. It can just be one more thing, another free support tool that helps to keep you on track and staying positive. Now, if you did want to binge watch, because I mentioned this earlier, the next video I'm going to link up is called, Why Do I Eat When Not Hungry on Keto? Why do I do that? So that'll be the next video that I'll link up right after this. So if you ever have a question or a comment, feel free to ask it below. But otherwise, that's it, you guys. I want you to give yourself a round of applause. Give yourself a round of applause. Thanks for joining me on the adventure today with the Dirty Lazy Keto podcast. If you have questions about what we talked about, head over to my website, dirtylazyketo.com. While you're there, be sure to sign up for my free newsletter.